Anywhere. Low-cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on national airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published.
You're hot. All right, welcome to the show, Fifth Street Soccer on the Sports Byline USA SB Nation Radio Networks. I'm Nick Eber. It is wonderful to be with you today, as I am each and every weekday right here on Sports Byline from 1 p.m. Pacific Time. That's Monday through Friday, and then again on Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got a lot to get to today in a World Cup day that continues the upsets that see Sweden get past favourites Switzerland and find their way to the quarterfinals. And as we speak, England are playing overtime with Colombia. By the end of the show, we will have a winner. I certainly hope it's England, and we will be able to give you, or I will be able to give you, the quarterfinal breakdowns, all four matches in the quarters. That's what we got on store today. Love to hear from you if you've got a thought, comment, a suggestion. 800-878-PLAY. Give us a call in the studio at 800-878-PLAY. Or you can always send us a message on our website at fifthstreetsports.com or on Twitter at Fifth Street Sports. We would love to hear from you. That's how the show works best, when you get involved. So we got a lot to get to today. A recurring theme on this show has been the changing of the guard in world football. Today, information, news coming out of Madrid about the future of one fairly decent player by the name of Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm going to talk about that as we continue with our general thought line about the changing of the guard in world football. You're now seeing this on the club level as well. So we're going to get to all of that today. There really is a lot to get to. Plus, of course, in the last segment, I will be giving you my picks for the matches on Monday. On Monday. Well, we're today, tomorrow's July 4th, isn't it? It is, yes. So from picks on for July the 5th, we will give you the picks for the quarterfinal matches on the 5th of July. Sorry if I seem preoccupied. I'm actually watching the extra time of the England-Colombia game as we speak. How has this World Cup been for you? Love to hear from you. How has your team done? Have you enjoyed it? Even if you don't have a dog in this race, or dog in the fight, a pony in the race, whatever it is, I don't know. Give us a call, 800-878-PLAY. I'm Nick Eber. This is Fifth Street Soccer on the Sports Byline USA SB Nation Radio Networks. A big hello to our men and women in uniform listening on the American Forces Network. It is a pleasure and a privilege to speak with you. So don't go anywhere, folks. I'll be back in 3 minutes.
Celebrate the 4th with $4 during Aaron's 4th of July event. You heard right. Just $4 gets you started leasing to own top brands in furniture, electronics, and appliances with no credit needed. And as always, there's free delivery and setup. So celebrate the 4th, because just $4 gets you started. Visit a participating Aaron's store or Aaron's.com June 29th through July 4th during Aaron's 4th of July event. July 1st and 4th online only. Transaction advertised as a rental purchase agreement. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Call the CPAP hotline now. 800-430-4234. 800-430-4234. That's 800-430-4234. Copays and deductibles apply. Supplies are replaced in accordance with Medicare guidelines.
Results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. If you owe the IRS back taxes, payroll taxes, or have not filed your returns, the IRS will get you. They can take your property, take you to court, even put you in jail. One call to Wall and Associates, and your tax problems are solved. Wall has saved clients over $150 million in the last 5 years. Our average client settles for about 10% of what is owed. With one call to Wall, you'll never need to talk to the IRS again. We offer free face-to-face consultations in your local area. Remember, Wall has a proven track record with a total client savings over $150 million. Call now for your free face-to-face consultation. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940.
Hey, Dave, you in for golf this weekend?
I can't. I promised I'd find a plumber to fix a sink and a painter to paint the...
Just use Angie's List.
Doesn't that cost money?
Not at all. It's free to find pros in your area who can do the work. You can even read ratings and reviews from other customers.
What about roofing pros?
Angie's List has pros for everything. And to save time, they'll even match you the job.
Oh, that's awesome. Looks like I'll be able to play after all.
Find the best pros for your next project at angieslist.com.
All right, folks, welcome back. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline USA, SB Nation Radio. I'm Nick Geber. What a pleasure it is to be with you. I do enjoy bringing you the best of world football weekly here on Sports Byline. And, of course, during the World Cup, there is no bigger spotlight focused in on the global game than, obviously, now. And we've had quite the World Cup of upsets, surprises, new faces, old faces not performing for whatever reason. And I tell you what, if I have to hear pundits, whether on the television or on the radio or on or written on websites, still talking about Messi and Ronaldo and Messi, and really, it's enough. They are great players. We can have a debate as to whether Messi is the greatest player in the world ever, or Ronaldo is. We can have that discussion, and it's a good discussion to have. And there are differing viewpoints and opinions, and I won't say anyone's wrong. I would say all the opinions, certainly if you're talking about comparing the likes of a Messi and a Ronaldo and a Maradona and a Pele, those are all more than valid opinions. We can all agree just to have a difference of opinion. But really, we cannot be mired in the past. It's a problem. It's a problem whether you are an England supporter and you were mired in the greatness of 1966, or you're a Liverpool supporter such as myself, and we spend all this time talking about our great European pedigree and history. When the last time we won the European Cup was 2003 in Istanbul. Was it 3 or 5? Excuse me, 2005. Thank you. In Istanbul, which is now 13 years ago. You have to look to the future. So, yeah, I'm excited, for example, about the Liverpool team under Jurgen Klopp, Mo Salah and Bobby Firmino, and where the team looks right now, looking forward. So we have a tendency to look back, but it is time to not look back anymore. It is time to look forward to the great players that are coming, that are emerging in the game today, and you're seeing a lot of them on display. I would just point you to the display that the French team put on a few days ago in their match with Mbappe, this young kid. I think is he 19? 19 or 20 years old. Put on one of the most incredible performances, an end-to-end run with the ball at his feet that must have been at, 150 miles an hour. Showed skill, poise, athleticism, and then the finish. And when you look at that, these are the stars of the future. Philippe Coutinho, Roberto Firmino. These are the stars of the future. Who else are you thinking, Andrew? Give me a couple of other stars of the future names. I'm asking our producer here because I know he's really into it. Who else would you say was a big star of the future? Trent Alexander-Arnold. Well, there we go. Mo Salah, big star for the future, right? I mean, these are people that you can look at all around the world that are playing at the highest level that are not Messi and Ronaldo. And I've said this like every week on the show, so I'm feeling like I'm somewhat of a record repeating himself. But, if you're new to the sport in the last 20 years, and I know that doesn't feel new if you've been watching for 20 years, I'm not saying you're as the gamers would put it, a noob or anything like that. I'm just saying that you've been following the sport since it's really grown here in the United States, which has been the last 20 years. I like to think I've been an integral part of that, and it makes me feel good. So obviously very happy to have as many people watching as possible. But if that is the case, then you have grown up in the sport, knowing only the powerhouse of global football, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, the Man Uniteds, the Germanys, the Brazils, to a lesser degree the Argentinas. Everybody talks about Chelsea Football Club and a few years ago how great they were and a brilliant team and they were considered one of the global giants. Well, it wasn't too long ago that Chelsea were bought by for £1 because they were basically in bankruptcy. Chelsea Village essentially bankrupted that club. Roman Abramovich bought them just by buying their debt. They were a nothing club. They were sort of a shell of a former once great club or once legendary club in London. And they were, just about on the way out. And then Abramovich buys them, pumps all the money in. They become, a great team, solid, full of great players and, a high-profile manager and Mourinho and everything else. And the rest is history. But if you just go back a few years, they weren't much of anything. But if you go back a few more decades, they were quite a lot of something. So these are the transitions. These are the cycles of world football that we go through. And obviously at the World Cup today, we're seeing more of those cycles with Germany going the way of the dodo, Portugal going the way of the dodo, Argentina, they're out. I would say Mexico, but I don't really think they've ever been considered a powerhouse of international football. They've always been a good club, a good national side. Belgium barely squeaks through. Spain are out. Spain are out. Switzerland, a very highly ranked team coming into the World Cup, but we're out to Sweden today. So all these, and then of course, teams that didn't even get out of the group rounds. Germany, of course, the biggest name there. Poland, weren't they ranked like 10th or something like that in the world before the World Cup? They had a huge, ridiculously high coefficient coming into the World Cup. But they're gone. They didn't even make it out of the group stage. Think about that. That's the way the cycle goes. That's the way the cycle goes in the world. And we see it also in the club world. I mentioned Chelsea. Rumors today, Cristiano Ronaldo is on his way out of Real Madrid. He is going, apparently, to the great old lady of Italian football, Juventus. Which is a big surprise that he would go to Juventus. And maybe that is a signal of the newfound influx of organization, integrity, and money that's found its way into Serie A once Berlusconi his influence has diminished over the last 5 or 6 years. No more bunga parties with Muammar Gaddafi and, more worrying about football and staying on the right side of regulations and player transfers and all of that sort of stuff. Italian football, by the way, is a great league. Serie A is a lot of fun. It has been a league that has had its ups and downs for sure. But right now, Serie A is a great league. The Bundesliga is a great league. The Premier League is, for my money, the most exciting league in Europe. Is it the best? Is technically the teams in the Premier League? Do you see technically better football than you would, say, but in a big derby between a Clasico between Barcelona and Madrid? Probably not. However, I think top to bottom, it's the best value for money league in the world as a fan. I think that it is the most exciting league. I think if you look at the teams, number 1 through number 20, I think you'll find they're a lot more competitive than they are in just about any other league in the world. So that's part of why I like the Premier League so much. And obviously, I'm from England, and I like the big stars, and I think those teams are terrific. And I've followed the Premier League, or what was the old First Division, for the majority of my life. So I suppose that's only par for the course and normal. But anyway, Ronaldo on his way to Real Madrid. Look, Neymar left Barcelona, went to PSG. Was that the right place for him to go? Well, it was a place for him to go, a big money club. He was happy to go there. But the big names are moving, are leaving, are rotating. By the way, kind of surprised Ronaldo didn't find his way back to the Premier League, but I think Juventus is a great home for him. Talk about Gareth Bale. Is he going to stay at Madrid? I wonder if Ronaldo goes. Andrew, what do you think? If Ronaldo goes, will that open up more playing time, do you think, for Gareth Bale? I would imagine so, right? Unless they went and bought somebody else. That's a great point. So, yes, the beat goes on. We're going to follow the transfers very, very closely here, by the way, on the show throughout the silly season, throughout the open window, and we'll follow it all the way through. And, of course, once the World Cup is over, things get super busy because we have a little season of silly friendlies. By the way, I want to just put out a quick promotion here. It has been our pleasure here at Fifth Street Sports to facilitate the arrival of the legendary Argentine club side Boca Juniors. They will be playing the Colorado Rapids in Denver. We were involved in putting that match together. If you are in the Denver area, go see Denver go see the Colorado Rapids against Boca Juniors. It'll be a fabulous match. When we come back, I'll tell you where to go, how to get tickets, and all that. This is Fifth Street Soccer on the Sports Byline USA Radio Network. It is great to be with you. I'm Nick Geber. Going to step aside, take a break. Meanwhile, visit us on the web at fifthstreetsports.com, and you can check out lots of past shows and other great information. I'll be back in 3 minutes.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
Results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. If you owe the IRS back taxes, payroll taxes, or have not filed your returns, the IRS will get you. They can take your property, take you to court, even put you in jail. One call to Wall and Associates, and your tax problems are solved. Wall has saved clients over $150 million in the last 5 years. Our average client settles for about 10% of what is owed. With one call to Wall, you'll never need to talk to the IRS again. We offer free face-to-face consultations in your local area. Remember, Wall has a proven track record with a total client savings over $150 million. Call now for your free face-to-face consultation. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940.
All right, welcome back. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline USA. I'm with you every Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. right here on Sports Byline and SB Nation Radio. It is great to be with you as I watch the extra time taking place of the England-Colombia match. Obviously, my fingers are crossed for England, but it has been a gritty match. Of that, there's no doubt. And Colombia have pulled every, I would say, dirty trick, but it's just gamesmanship. I mean, they pulled every trick out of the book they can get, and they did get a very late goal in extra time to force it to the 30-minute extra time period. And then, of course, if it doesn't, if there's no score, then, or if there's no to break the 1-1 tie, then they'll go to penalties. So the discussion on Twitter, and again, you can find us on Twitter at Fifth Street Sports, a lot of people are not happy with penalties as the deciding tiebreaker in these matches. And I will say this, for me, penalties are a extremely unsatisfying way to resolve the field of Mortal Kombat. I mean, they've been at it now for 90 minutes and 30 minutes. That's 120 minutes. That's 2 hours. There's not too many other ways to resolve these matches. And people say, well, let them play. They should just play until there's a winner. Well, the problem for that is that you're asking players who run miles during the course of every game. Remember, folks, this isn't a 4-hour American football game where the ball moves for 7 minutes during the entire match. This is a game where the players and the ball are in constant motion, unless, of course, it's Neymar rolling on the ground pretending like he's been shot by a sniper bullet. But the game goes on, and these players are highly conditioned endurance athletes. This is what they specialize in. Having said that, though, the idea that you're going to keep them out there for another hour running up and down the pitch will exhaust these players to the point that the following match they're going to have to play, because if it's a tournament is really the only place you're going to have these rules, they're going to be dead. They're going to not be, I mean, I don't literally mean dead, but I mean exhausted. They're going to be completely exhausted and unable to play without at least a couple of weeks rehab, reconditioning, rehydrating, rest, and, of course, going to the strip clubs. But all of that aside, that's not a way to do it. Now, there have been some other discussions that maybe you could keep them playing and every 3 minutes you pull a player off. Well, yep, that's a way to do it, but I'm not sure that's really necessarily going to force a goal to be scored unless one of those players are the goalkeepers. And then another discussion is, well, maybe you just let them do 6 substitutions. Well, if that's the case, then you're really looking about a completely different tactical makeup for the game. And that may be something to look at on the one hand, but on the other hand, don't these networks, television coverage needs an end time on these matches at some point in order to make it work. So these are the issues that we're dealing with. So right now, penalties are the only way really to decide these matches. Also, Andrew, can you think of any other way that you'd want to resolve these matches? Fist fight between the managers. I like that. Or mud wrestling match with the best-looking fans, male and female, because I don't want to be seen as sexist, on the sidelines. No, I think right now penalties is probably the most efficient way, yet, of course, horribly unsatisfying to solve these matches. What do you think? 800-878-PLAY, 800-878-PLAY. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you, by the way. What do you think about that? Because, if we're rewriting the rules of the game, and it may be time to rewrite some of the rules of the game. I mean, we're very hesitant to do that, and I'm going to talk about that in a second here. But maybe it is time to get down, sharpen the pencils, and decide that there's some rules of this game that need to be changed because they don't work anymore. I mean, look, a number of years ago, the offside rule was changed because the old way didn't work anymore. You may not know this, but there did not used to be yellow and red cards in a game. That was something that was put in by a referee, and I'm going to tell you when it was. I'm going to actually look up exactly when that was, but I want to say it was in the 1970-something, early 70s was the when the referees started carrying cards. So I'll find that out during the break and correct myself if I'm wrong, because I don't want to give you erroneous information. But having said that, we do change rules. So this World Cup, we've had video assistant referee. A couple of years ago, goal line technology was instituted. I know a lot of the technology companies that revolve around sports and sports marketing companies and leagues, as well as FIFA, are looking at the possibility of RFID chips embedded in boots and balls to automate the offside calls. But again, that's not here. That technology isn't quite ready. I mean, they did wait for the goal line technology to be exactly there before they instituted it, and I thought that was a very prudent move on their behalf because it really has helped. Look, these are games where a score is extremely hard to come by. We've seen 1-1s, 0-0s. It's very rare we have 7, 8-goal matches. So you want to make sure that if there is a goal, that goal is legitimate, was properly earned, did not break any of the rules, no one had an unfair advantage on it. So reviewing goals, it's time. Of course, whether the fundamental decision there was, did the ball go over the line or not? So goal line technology was introduced. Been a big help. And yeah, most games, you don't even know it's there. But the one game that you do want it, when there's a question about did the ball go over the line, where everything is on the line, you want to ensure that that is a call that's made with integrity and that you're upholding the integrity of the game. VAR has been a work in progress. That's video assistant referee. Has been a work in progress here during the World Cup, and I think it has got progressively better as they have instituted it over the period of the last few weeks. It is wonderful to know, number one, that referees can make calls that they feel are the appropriate calls and not worry about being second-guessed by the press because they can go to the VAR, and if the call was wrong, it'll be reversed. If it was a non-call and it should have been a call, the VAR will tell them, and they can make the right call. So I think it takes so much of the bad things about global football, which is the pressure that's put on by the fans and the media. And the water cooler talk has been, it was a penalty or it wasn't a penalty or this, that, and the other. Let's change the discussion. Let's make the discussion about the game and the tactics and the players as opposed to the referees and the refereeing decisions. The best referee in a game is one that you don't notice. Those are the best referees in any match. Of course, in American sports, the referees are themselves almost as big of a draw as they are the game itself. I mean, this is just a different focus. I mean, the NFL refs, how many NFL refs are there in a match? 100? 150? Looks like almost half a battalion of striped gentlemen, all throwing yellow hankies with rocks attached to them on the ground and all mic'd up so everybody can hear their calls. And by the way, there's some things I really love about the NFL. I mean, the officiating, I think, is good in the NFL. They take their time. They make the right call. They have video review. They don't always get it right, but they have video review because they know the integrity of the game is integral to the correct application of the laws and rules of the game. And again, American football, NFL, professional football, college football, this is a game that really is much more tailored to the use of video review, possibly than any other sport, because there's so many stoppages in play. So soccer, football, it's emerging. It's coming out of the dark ages, the traditionalists who say, we haven't done that since time immemorial. Why would we do this? This is an affront to the nature and the spirit of the game. I say it's not. I say the game is changing with time. It's integrating technology. It's all these things are doing, whether it's VAR or changing of the offside rules or whatever it is they're doing, are really driving the game forward. There have been very few changes, I would say, that they make to the game that have been really negative, and they don't make these changes lightly or easily. So VAR, for me, has been one of the big winners in the World Cup. I think it's really shown what we can have. Now, I do understand, and this is some of the pushback that you get on this. Some of the people say, well, yeah, but maybe the big money leagues in the world, the Premier Leagues, the Serie A, the Ligue 1, Bundesliga, they can afford to have VAR. But the guy playing 4th Division football, excuse me, in Estonia, his league cannot afford to have VAR. And I say that is absolutely correct. His league cannot afford to have VAR or goal line technology. And that is just one of the things. That's just how you come through the system. That's how you train referees. That's how you train players how to play in terms of application of the rules and the rules to follow. But when you get to the very top leagues in the world, that's what you get, because that's where most of the people have their eyeballs. Now, I like to watch for any sort of football. I mean, I'm so bad I'll pull over to the side of the road if there's a youth game going on as I drive by. But, you know, you're not going to have VAR at youth games. But you're going to have it at the World Cup. You're going to have it in the Premier League. You're going to have it in the Bundesliga. That's when you're going to have it. And that's the way it should be. So big winner for me in the World Cup. That's been a big winner for me in the World Cup. What else has been a big winner for me in the World Cup? Well, I tell you, we have to go to break here in just a second. I will save it until we come back. I'm just checking my clock here. How are we good? We got till 40, right? Nope, 37. Oh, well, I don't have time. So I'm going to have to hold that thought. So when we come back, I'll tell you about some of the other big winners I see out of this cycle of the World Cup. So stay tuned. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline USA, SB Nation Radio. Find us on Twitter at Fifth Street Sports, and on the web, of course, at fifthstreetsports.com. All right, folks, I'll be back in 3 minutes. Coming up, I'm going to give you my picks for the first of the quarterfinal matches, so don't want to miss that. I'll show you if there are any special values, courtesy of our sponsor, BetAnySports.eu. Be right back after this.
You're clear.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Call the CPAP hotline now. 800-430-4234. 800-430-4234. That's 800-430-4234. Copays and deductibles apply. Supplies are replaced in accordance with Medicare guidelines.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Celebrate the 4th with $4 during Aaron's 4th of July event. You heard right. Just $4 gets you started leasing to own top brands in furniture, electronics, and appliances with no credit needed. And as always, there's free delivery and setup. So celebrate the 4th because just $4 gets you started. Visit a participating Aaron's store or Aaron's.com June 29th through July 4th during Aaron's 4th of July event.
July 1st and 4th online only. Transaction advertised as a rental purchase agreement. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Come on, let's ride.
Hey guys and gals, Scott Turnage here, the old G3 sportsman. You know, we're awfully proud to have G3 Boats as the official boat sponsor for the Outdoor Guys radio show. From time to time, Ken will be talking with some of our G3 sportsman field staff tips and where they're biting across the country. Be sure and check out our new lineup of G3 boats at your local dealer or visit us at g3boats.com and come join the G3 Life.
Well, I did not predict that England-Colombia would go to penalties. It is doing just that, and we will continue to monitor that. Obviously, if you're watching this show, listening to it on a podcast or watching it as a recording on YouTube, by the way, you can find us at youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports or our website, fifthstreetsports.com. You're going to know the results, and I do not know. That's the benefit of not having. That's the downside of not having a time machine. If I had a time machine, I would have taken the meager resources that I had. I would have gone forward in time, placed some bets. Back in time, placed some bets on some of these results, some large bets on some of these results. Particularly would have bet on Russia eliminating Spain. Would have got a nice payday on that one. And, of course, Germany not making it out of the group stages. I shudder to think what the payday was for that one in terms of odds. By the way, if you're interested in odds and placing some bets, having a little bet, you can do that at our sponsor, betanysports.eu. It's a great place to go. It's very low juice. And if you don't know what I mean by that, you want to look it up. But essentially, it's fee loading. If you go to a sports book here, they're going to have very high juice. If you go to betanysports.eu, they'll have very low juice. Low juice is better than high juice, whether it's high-calorie juice boxes that you might give your kids or the low-calorie ones. You want the low-calorie ones, right? They're healthier. You live longer. So low juice, much better. Anyway, go to betanysports.eu. If you sign up right now, and use the affiliate code Fifth Street, you can get a 50% bonus on your deposit up to $1,000. So let's do it, shall we? Andrew, is Andrew with me? Andrew, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right,
hello.
good. Well, let's take a look at some of these matches because we've got a couple of matches coming up here. The first ones, let's take a look. The first ones would be, we're talking about the quarterfinal matches, Uruguay, France. This, for me, is probably one of the most interesting quarterfinal matches that we have because Uruguay are a very difficult team to beat. They're a very difficult team to play with. They are gritty and tough and can dictate the pace of a game. They're very good defensively, and they have a really strong offensive bite if they need it. France, on the other hand, are a bit like, I would say, a free-flowing French sports car, but then, I'm thinking just a Citroën. I'd rather say a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something with a little bit more panache and flair and speed. And that's what this French team is. They're young, they're fast, they're gritty, they are determined, and they all have a point to make. I think on balance, I like the French team. I like France to advance out of this particular quarterfinal, and the bookies would seem to agree with me. The odds currently for France to advance are minus 210. Uruguay, a good bet, by the way, Uruguay at plus 180 if you have a little extra cash. That's a good little bet there. During the game itself, 90 minutes, the odds are for France at plus 103. That's the money line. Uruguay is plus 362. The draw is plus 222. And the over-under is 2 goals. It's 2 goals, total points. The over pays plus 102. Now, normally I would say any team that France plays, you want to look to go for the over. A low-scoring game is obviously going to benefit Uruguay. A high-scoring game is going to benefit France. I do think France will get out of this. I think they're likely to get out of this as a 1-0, though, possibly, during regulation. So I'm going to actually take the straight money line on France at plus 103, and I am going to take the under at minus 117. What do you think, Andrew?
So I think when you're looking at this game, it comes down to 2 really important factors. The first being how is Edison Cavani feeling? And is he going to be ready to play? I'm assuming he will be, but the big thing is Uruguay is the only team, one of the only teams in the world game that can actually really grind out a result. They are not a sexy team. They're not a pretty team. They don't play, they don't try to play to an insanely high standard. They play to win. They're a team that has been built from the ground up to win. France, young, relatively inexperienced, but they play a very, very free-flowing, very fast, high-paced style. And, well, it's one of those things where
right.
I guess I'm not coming through, but
I don't know. I heard you just fine, so I don't know if you were hearing Andrew there, but essentially he was saying that Uruguay can really grind out a win, and France are going to do it with a lot more style and panache. And in that respects, I do agree with him. I still would take on this one France at plus 103, Uruguay at plus, as opposed to Uruguay at plus 362. So I take France, and I will take the under. On the next one, Belgium-Brazil. I was really hot on this Belgian team for a while. I saw them really struggle to get by Japan. I thought that was really unfortunate for them. The Brazilian team really seems to be going from strength to strength here, and they look good. I can't see Belgium winning this game. I really see Brazil winning this game in regulation, plus 112. The goal, the total points are 2.5. I probably would take. So it's a 3. It's a 2.5 would be a 2-1 victory. I would take the over. I would take the over at plus 100 and Brazil to advance. Those are our picks for the matches on, what are we today? Thursday. My Thursday's picks. Those will be Thursday's picks. On Friday, we're going to have, is that Friday or Saturday? I believe it's Saturday, actually, right? The next games. So the 6th will be, those are Friday's quarterfinal picks. On Saturday's quarterfinal picks will be Sweden and the winner of this match that we're looking at right here, which is Colombia-England, still to be determined, and Russia-Croatia. We will give you those picks, though, on Friday after Friday at 1 p.m. When we come back on the air, we'll give you those picks, and we'll be able to look back at these ones as we watch a very intense penalty shootout situation between England and Colombia. Listen, if you have a better idea on how to do this, let us know. Send us a tweet at FifthStreetSports.com. I don't mean the show. I'm sure everybody has a better idea to how to do the show. I'm talking about penalty kicks. If you have a better idea than penalty kicks, let us know at FifthStreetSports.com. Go to at FifthStreetSports on Twitter. Go to www.FifthStreetSports.com on the web, and you can let us know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear them, by the way. I mean, there have been some great suggestions. I would say at this point, short of saying, well, throw a few lions out there for some entertainment, pretty much no idea would be a really terrible idea, and they would all be worthy of consideration. So we watch England and Colombia and penalty kicks. Of course, penalty kicks in the World Cup have been the bane of England's existence. This has been England's great Achilles heel, and here they are playing a fairly experienced Colombian team that has probably a bit more in terms of constitution for this. I wonder how these young players are feeling having to take penalties to advance to the next round of the World Cup, knowing England's history, how much pressure is on their rather narrow young shoulders. I would imagine it's an awful lot of pressure. So that's what's going on right now. Those are our picks for the first matches of the quarterfinals. Once again, I will pick France and I will pick Brazil, the two favorites. Generally, when you get this far along, the favorites do tend to rise. As Nick Webster likes to say, the cream rises to the top. So you can go to BetAnySports.eu, sign up, and place those bets if you would like. Or with the advent of legalized sports betting in certain states now, other than Nevada, you can go now to a bunch of different locations and do it. Monmouth, New Jersey, I believe they're taking bets. Delaware, taking bets. And if you'd like to continue that discussion, the perfect place to do it is on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Sports Byline for Fifth Street Sports, where we will cover all sports, not just the World Cup. We'll cover everything. In fact, we had a fabulous discussion about betting the Canadian Football League, if you can believe that. I mean, there is actually a discussion to be had about betting the Canadian Football League. I had no idea, but apparently there is, and it was actually pretty interesting. If you've missed out any of those topics and would be interested to know, what they are, then what you're going to do is go to FifthStreetSports.com. You can see a list of all of our videos that we've had in the past, present, but none in the future yet, because I said no time machine. Well, England has had their first penalty shot saved, so unfortunately things are looking at this point like Colombia will advance to the next round and England will see their elimination in the round of 16, which I know will be an enormous disappointment. It's not over yet, but it is not looking particularly grand for them. That is the nature of the beast. That's what you get when you give up a goal late in extra time. You cannot do that, and that I think part of that you can put down to the youth and inexperience of this English team on the international stage. But it is fascinating to watch how these things unfold. Although, on the other hand, Colombia just literally missed a penalty. So now, as I'm giving you a blow-by-blow description, all things are equal. You never know. You never know. Look, folks, when we come back after the World Cup, we're going to be following a lot of stuff because the transfer window will be open. We'll be into the preseason matches. And I did tell you I would inform everybody about the Boca Juniors Colorado Rapids match. And I'm going to do that for you just a second here. And then we get into the Premier League, of course. And we get into the big leagues in Europe. And if you've enjoyed betting the World Cup, the betting action on Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga is enormous. And if you're just a fan of the game and don't bet, it's absolutely fantastic because these are really the top leagues in the world. And if you want to see the best players, whether we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo going to Juventus, fine. If you want to see Ronaldo play in Italy, then watch Serie A. If you want to see Messi play, then watch La Liga. If you want to see Neymar play, watch Ligue 1. If you want to see Harry Kane play, then you watch the Premier League. That's where you're going to go for your top-level football. I will get on my bandwagon, my high horse, my rant wagon at some point, and rant a little bit for you about Major League Soccer. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to do it during the World Cup. It's not an appropriate discussion to have. But I will ask you this. Why on earth are they playing Major League Soccer throughout the World Cup? And by the way, Pickford has just saved a penalty from Colombia. So if England score this penalty now, they will in fact go through and break the jinx. And I'm wondering if it's going to be Captain Fantastic, who I don't think has taken a penalty. Oh, he took the penalties, the first one, so he won't be taking it. So if you stay with me here, folks, I'm going to be able to tell you who's going through in the England-Colombia game. We will find out right now. Is that Trippier? No. Oh, that's Dyer. Okay, Dyer. So here we go, getting ready to take it. I know this is terrible live radio, folks, but I just can't help myself. I'm an England fan, and I have to watch this. But if they don't go through for some reason, I will not be upset with their performance. It's just the football gods and the way the football gods go. And England are advancing to the next round of the World Cup in a very hard-earned victory, and they do break the jinx of penalty kicks in the World Cup. This young English team is setting, I think, breaking all sorts of jinx and setting all sorts of expectations going forward for England. Great to see him do it. So England will be taking on. I can now give you the final. Quarterfinal matchup. I'm sorry it's taken me so long. That, of course, will be England playing Sweden, and then the winner of that match will play the winner of Russia-Croatia, which I would predict to be Croatia. But quite honestly, you just don't know in this World Cup. It's absolutely insane. Love to hear from you guys. Find us on the web, fifthstreetsports.com. Find us on YouTube, youtube.com/fifthstreetsports, or on Twitter, at Fifth Street Sports. I'm going to step aside, take a break, wrap it up. I thank all our listeners for bearing with me while I do a show solo while watching my team play their way through the World Cup. You've been patient, and I love all my listeners and fans, and thank you so much. All right, be right back after this. Fifth Street Sports.
You're clear.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Are you an inventor who would like to try to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to companies, but you don't know what to do next? Call for free information from InventHelp. InventHelp, a leading inventor service company, has been helping inventors since 1984 and has sales offices located in more than 60 cities nationwide. You'll want to talk to the company that has helped secure more than 7,000 invention patents. So call InventHelp. Even if you have an idea for improving an existing product and don't know where to go with it, you'll still want to call InventHelp for free information. You'll find out how InventHelp may assist you in trying to patent your invention and submit it to companies. So call now.
Call InventHelp at 1-800-316-1738. That's 1-800-316-1738. Get your free information by dialing 1-800-316-1738.
All right, stand by.
1-800-316-1738. 1-800-316-1738.
Well, good friends, the quarterfinals of the 2018 FIFA World Cup are set. Uruguay will face France. Brazil will face Belgium. Russia will face Croatia. And England will face Sweden. Think about that for a minute. One of our World Cup winners will be either Uruguay, France, Brazil, Belgium, Russia, Croatia, Sweden, or England. England, France, Brazil, and Uruguay are the only teams ever to win the World Cup. And Uruguay was in the 50s, I think. England, obviously, 1966. In recent memory, France, and, of course, most recently, Brazil. So we are for sure going to have either someone who was last in the finals in 1966 or a complete newcomer in the finals of the World Cup. Think about that for a minute. It has been a wonderful World Cup, full of surprises. I thank you for tuning in. We will be with you each and every weekday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, then again 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio. Then again Saturdays, we'll be with you at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So you get us 6 days a week. Hope you enjoy it. Let us know how you feel, how you think. Participate in the show. You can either call into the studio, and I put the number out during the show, or you can find us on the web at fifthstreetsports.com, or you can find us on Twitter at Fifth Street Sports. That's just about going to wrap up the show. Once again, want to remind you, though, to go to betanysports.eu if you'd like to place a small wager on the outcome of the first round of the quarterfinals, I gave you our picks on these. I said France over Uruguay in regulation. I said Brazil over Belgium in regulation. And I'm going with the two favorites, but it is the quarterfinals of the World Cup, so that's what you do. All right, I'll be back on the air with you tomorrow, so be sure to tune in right here. I want to thank everybody involved with this show, and of course all the fine folks at Sports Byline and SB Nation. Until tomorrow, enjoy your evening. By the way, have a great July 4th, and I just realized I won't be with you on July 4th, so I'll be with you the day after tomorrow. Enjoy your July 4th holiday. I know I will, and I will speak to you on Thursday. Bye.
You're clear. Have a good one, Nick.